one of the questions I want to ask, what was one of the main strategies of Shake Shack to face the pandemic?
Yeah, it's a great question. And, I think back for myself and my boss, we were actually in China. Hold on one second. Sorry, my baby's. My boss and I were actually in China back when Wuhan was shut down in January of 2020. And it was so bizarre because we were sort of there for the beginnings of the pandemic. We had seen the reports on the news and got to China. We went ahead with our trip, and within like a day, it felt like the world had changed. We came back to our hotel one night, and all of a sudden they had erected security. We're taking temperatures. Everyone was in masks, and it was like a little bit alarming. And obviously we've been through a roller coaster, as everybody has, I think, across the restaurant business and across the world. And for Shake Shack's a very entrepreneurial company, and I think it really forced us to get back to our roots in terms of thinking about things from that perspective. And so, Shake Shack is based on the idea of hopefully what you saw last night of being a warm community gathering place.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we were told that gathering was not something that we should be doing.
Yeah.
It really shook Shake Shack to the core. And so we've made some major adaptations in really trying to meet guests where they are, finding ways to do that in a way that's safe for the guests and allows them to still experience what we think is an amazing Shake Shack experience all over the world. So we've done that by doing some considerable digital evolutions. We now, we launched in Mexico with Rappi. So now we're doing delivery across Mexico City. We hope to even be doing that in Monterrey in the weeks to come. And beyond that, we launched an online ordering platform in Mexico. In the US, we've done all sorts of different things in terms of what we now call Shack Track. So we're sort of evolving the different formats of the Shake Shack. Truly meet guests where they are. So we've done things like added pickup windows. We've done restaurants where you drive to them and we hand you your food out a window.
Like drive-through or another kind of way?
We call them drive-to, and then later on this year, we're actually going to launch our very first drive-through.
Okay.
So the drive-to, you would pre-order online on your app, and then you would drive to the window and we would hand you your food.
But that's great.
Yes, for the digital side. And then later on this year in the US, we'll launch our very first drive-through, which would be more of a traditional drive-through experience.
Okay.
And we're working together with GRG to understand sort of which of those formats, as we test them in the US, we're going to be bringing to Mexico in the months to come as well.
Okay. And with all of that, of the gatherings that are supposed not to be allowed, how does Shake Shack take care of the collaborators, of the people that is working in the establishment?
Yeah, it's a good question. In Shake Shack, we say since the very beginning, we've had a slogan to stand for something good. And we think that really holds true in the way that we take care of our people. In providing tremendous opportunity, one of the reasons why we're so excited to be growing in Monterrey is the ability for us to start in a new place and continue to provide opportunity for people to come up on their levels throughout the organization. And we're really proud of the work that we do together with GRG, because they actually have an institute that continues to teach people and further their education all the way through their masters if they want, at very low cost, very high quality education, while continuing to support them in the growth of their career. So we want people to be able to come in to Shake Shack that might start as a dishwasher, but learn different aspects of the job. Maybe they become a grill person, maybe they become a cashier, maybe they want to work on their language skills, second language. So many of our cashiers will, of course, they'll speak Spanish. Some of them will speak English as well. People want to push those things, and hopefully some of those folks even want to become a manager, and they move up through different levels in the organization. It's something that we're really, really proud of.
Yeah, that's great. The opportunity of growth is something really good.
Yeah, I think I always think back to one person in particular who's in Dubai, And he actually started with us 10 years ago. And he started, he started on the custard side, so making the desserts.
Okay.
His name is Ryan, and he's continued to move up through the entire organization over 10 years. He's now an area director responsible for the whole area of Dubai.
Wow.
So he's been through all of the levels. He was a general manager for several years, and he's continued to excel. And so I think when you get a chance to meet people that have gone through that journey, it's really inspiring, and it's inspiring to all the people who they work with, because people look up to them and say, I was just like you, and I want to be the next level. And so it's something that we're really, really proud of and really excited now to be bringing to Monterrey.
Yeah, that's really a great story of growth and opportunity inside of Shake Shack. And talking about Monterrey, well, first of the country, how does Shake Shack see the Mexican consumer?
Yeah, I've been coming to Mexico now for a number of years, even before I had the opportunity to meet with GRG. And a few things have always struck us about the Mexican consumer. One is, there's obviously a close relationship between Mexico and the U.S.
Of course, yeah.
I think what comes of that is the Mexican consumer is quite sophisticated. They really understand quality and authenticity. And so when we brought Shake Shack to Mexico, and now for our first time in a new city in Monterrey, we really want to be able to bring the consumer the authentic experience from New York.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we want to be able to reflect back a little bit of the community that we're coming into. So Shake Shack should always feel like a reflection of the community that we're entering into. You'll never see two Shake Shacks that are exactly the same. We always have some different things, whether it's different products on the menu that we feature, and also the design. The design should look very much like it's of its place. It should never look like it's helicopter. We were so excited in Monterrey to come because after many years, Monterrey has been a city that we've been interested in for a long time. And as you know, sometimes US brands actually launch in Monterrey first.
Yeah.
For Shake Shack, it's critical for us to find the right real estate. And so when our partners at GRG told us about the site at Arboleda and that we could be near a park, it reminded us sort of home and of our beginnings, because our very first Shake Shack in New York is in a park.
Yeah. Even how can I explain this? Yesterday, I felt that the place integrated to the how can I say?
We can speak in Spanglish if it's easier.
No, that's okay. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Like, I felt the Shake Shack felt the surroundings and integrated to them. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah, I felt that integration of not just being something external to embrace some of the origin of the place.
Our team spent a lot of time on that. And so, when you think about even the artwork, which you may have seen at our site before we opened, from Neto Plasma. I mean, he designed that artwork, and it's now obviously inside the restaurant. So we really there's a lot of detail that goes into it. I think you'll see some restaurant companies in the world, it's almost like you open a box and they can take the box and send it, and it looks exactly like their
restaurant.
Shake Shack takes a different approach, and we really have a lot of people and a lot of time and effort that goes into trying to make our restaurants of their places.
Yeah. And for the next question, what kind of impulse can bring the arrival of international brands like Shake Shack to a city like Monterrey?
I mean, Monterrey, of course, is one of the most important cities in Mexico. And like I said, it's one that we've been excited to come to for a really long time. Because we have to find sort of that right real estate, it takes time. But I think now that we're in Monterrey, we hope that we can contribute to the community and add more to the dialogue that exists between some of the US brands and the folks in Monterrey. We know that so many of the folks in Monterrey travel to the US frequently and will know the brand. But we also know that there's a lot of people in Monterrey who maybe haven't had it, like yourself, until yesterday.
Yeah.
We hope that we can bring them in and have them experience it and have them be excited by what we're doing, because we think that it's quite different from what a lot of other folks do.
Great. And what are the what are the expectations of growth for Shake Shack in Mexico?
Yeah, Mexico for us was a really critical market for a lot of reasons. First is it's our first foray into Latin America. And so, so many of the partners, potential partners all over the world, certainly in the Latin American space, look to how well the brand will do in Mexico. So we hope to have at least 30 restaurants in Mexico by 2028. We have 6 today in Mexico City, and of course tomorrow will be the 7th in our first city outside of Mexico City in Monterrey. But we really focus on growing one burger at a time. And so we want to make sure that those experiences, our eye on the prize, of course, we want to have more restaurants over the course of time. But the way that you have more restaurants over the course of time is by paying attention to the details and doing things right and making sure that every guest gets a consistent and excellent experience. And so we're really excited to finally have a chance to bring our version of hospitality to Monterrey and to be able to share it with you and hopefully your colleagues, your friends, your family.
Yeah, of course. And talking about that hospitality, I have, could be the last question. Is the last question I have one question. Are there any mixtures of the Mexican flavors, or are they going to integrate any kind of Mexican cuisine in the menu of Shake Shack, or in maybe just here in Mexico, or how it's going to be integrated that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think going back to this idea of authenticity, so many guests, especially in Mexico, have of course had Shake Shack back in the States. And we want to make sure that we bring that level of authenticity. So when you're having a burger in Monterrey, you're having beef from the US. It's our no hormone, no antibiotic, never ever beef. It's really, really, really top quality beef. Something that you would more typically find at a fine dining restaurant, not at a casual restaurant where you can get a Shack burger for under 100 pesos. Mm-hmm. And in addition to those classics, then back to this idea, just like we talked about with the design, we always want to make sure that we're reflecting our community. And so our culinary director spends a lot of time in Mexico and spent some time making some items. So we actually have the Gloria shake. I don't know if you had a chance to try it last night.
Oh, I hadn't had the chance, yeah.
So we're trying to take sort of a classic Monterrey candy that people from Monterrey would really know and integrate it with a milkshake from Shake Shack.
Yeah, because I was thinking of the burger that you told me that is kind of spicy, that for you guys is spicier, and for us it's just kind of mild. That was the origin of my question.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as you see other parts of our menu, we try to have a lot of fun with this part. It's one of the things that the folks on our team have that absolutely love this part of their jobs. They get to come down and they get to try all sorts of different local foods. And they try to meet with local vendors and really understand the way that they sort of see the world. So you'll see in other parts of our dessert area, in the concrete section, we use products from places like Cuna de Piedra, from Red Banderos, so things of that nature that we include in there to sort of, again, have that reflection of the base is Shake Shack from New York, but the reflection of the local community.
Okay. And I guess for the time that we have, is there any more information that you want to give us, or something that was missed?
Nothing else that I have for you necessarily. If there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I really appreciate you making the time to do this, and I'm mostly so excited that you got a chance to visit Shake Shack last night. I hope you come back and see us often.
And can I ask you one more thing? Can you give a shout out to the audience of players? Yeah.
Well, we're so thanks to players for giving us a chance to meet with you guys today and to get a chance to talk with you. And I can't wait to see the article that you guys write and put together. So thank you.
And thank you for giving us this time.
My pleasure. Have a great day, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.